Yes, you're right. It's the sound of a native forest in southern Europe that you're hearing. It's not a coincidence that we all experience a sense of peace and tranquility. We all evolved in environments like this, where the sounds of birds and insects signal the presence of food, medicine, and all other resources that we need to survive. Ecosystems and biodiversity are still important for life on this planet. I'm fascinated by biodiversity, the allure of the infinite network, where each species relies on the survival of others. For the majority of my professional life, I concentrated on only one of the many interesting interactions between insects and fungi in the soil. I wanted to know how big these networks were and how they could help us deal with one of humanity's most pressing problems, which is the global warming. The issue is obvious. We understand that we must reduce our emissions and remove current pollution from the environment in order to halt the damage and begin the repair process. This is where forests come in handy. Trees, like all plants, absorb carbon from the atmosphere and use it to grow. And some of the carbon makes its way into the soil, where it will remain for hundreds, if not thousands of years. We could directly contribute to reducing our annual emissions if we could avoid the loss of forests around the world. And if we could begin to shift the equilibrium in the opposite direction, we might also be able to assist in the healing process. But if people were really interested in investing their time and resources in a solution like this, we needed to consider the scope of the opportunity and the potential consequences. We needed the expertise of experts from all over the world. As a result, we started constructing a new network. The more people we contacted, the more data we collected, and trends started to appear more clearly. We were able to create new machines learning models to predict forest structure around the world using data from over 1.2 million forests. For the first time, we were able to see that our planet is a home to nearly 3 trillion trees, nearly half of what existed prior to human civilization. We will see how carbon is contained in this vast structure and where various organisms are distributed. However, this method can reveal something more revolutionary. We might start to see where the trees would naturally grow unplanted using the same models. This indicated that there are 0.9 billion hectares of land outside of urban and agricultural areas where trees can naturally grow, and there's enough space for over 1 trillion new trees. We calculated that if we could preserve these areas over time, the soils and plants could absorb up to 30% of the surplus carbon in the environment, effectively trapping decades of human emissions. We now have a plethora of ongoing studies to help us fine-tune these preliminary estimates. However, given the magnitude of this opportunity, these habitats could also play an important role in our battle against climate change, in addition to all other benefits they provide. Government and corporations from all over the world pledged their support for the conservation of the world's forest. The concepts of global restoration movement was becoming a reality as a result of the job creation. But in the midst of all the excitement and with the opportunity to make the positive impact I'm always up for, I've made some naive and stupid communication errors that jeopardize the whole letter. Our message's strength was its simplicity, but it came at the cost of complexity, which is so essential. I desperately tried to reel them back in when the headlines started to appear. Since it seemed to some that we were advocating for restoration as a singular approach to climate change, this is the very opposite of what the movement needs. We seem Through this prism restoration seems to be a very convenient to balance our carbon by planting a few trees while ignoring the very real and pressing problems of reducing emissions in preserving habitats. Restoration isn't a quick fix. There is no such thing as a silver bullet. It's only one of a large number of solutions that we urgently need. And although seeing trees as a quick fix is appealing, it possesses a serious challenge to the climate change effort as well as the remaining habitats. The act of restoring something to its original state as well as returning it to its original owners is characterized by the word restore. Nature conservation benefits local ecosystems as well as societies that depend on it. And as the network expands, everyone profits from the collective action. These advantages extend far beyond the challenge of climate change. Even if the climate change were to stop right now, the preservation and restoration of the Earth's biodiversity will remain a top priority because it is the foundation of all life. Many other environmental challenges such as severe weather, droughts, food shortages, and global pandemics can be mitigated with it. However, global restoration will not be easy, and it will not be solved solely by technological solutions. These tools can provide us with information, but the task must ultimately be solved by us, by all of us. Humans are profoundly interdependent on one another, much like the interdependent animals that make up natural ecosystems. We need an enormous network of boundless links, as well as farmers and project leaders on the ground who require sustainable goods to be sold in local markets and industries. Scientists, governments, non-governmental organizations, corporations, and individuals like you and me are all required to keep this movement going. The entire human ecology is needed. Before I will leave on your screen right now, I just want to impose this one. Stop the damage, start the repair. Thank you.